Hey there, thanks for tuning in. This is Tab Eiler with thedeepthings.com, and I want to talk about favor today. Favor is something progressive. Favor is part of a growth process. Favor is not something I just claim and I just get it just because I'm born again, because I received Jesus into my heart. Therefore, I'm entitled to some kind of favor. Believe me, God is a good God. He's a loving Father. He wants to take care of us. He wants to protect us. He wants to give us good things. But there is an assignment. There's a purpose for why we're here. And He's very committed to seeing us live that out. And so therefore, favor goes hand in hand with living out purpose. Favor goes hand in hand with being obedient to the process that we're called to be in, so that we could be prepared to step into greater and fuller things that manifest the glory of the Lord in the earth. So let me take a step back here and talk a little bit about Jesus. In Luke 2:52, it talks about how Jesus grew in wisdom, stature, and in favor with God and man. He grew, or he increased, or he, in an increasing measure over time, favor became more abundant upon his life. It didn't come, boom, in one shot just because he had relationship with God, but it came in seasons. It came in installments as he was faithful to the process and the preparation and the training that was necessary, that eventually led him to, at the age of 30, being at the Jordan River, being baptized by John, and the sky opening up and the Father saying, "This is my Son in whom I'm well pleased." And at that point, there was an anointing, there was a favor that came upon his life that was so incredible. He became the supernatural God-man in the earth and carried out his assignment until it was time for him to go to the cross. And then once he completed everything that he was called to complete, he was then highly exalted to the highest position in the universe because he was faithful to every jot and tittle of what he was called to do. So I believe that favor was growing in his life progressively from the time that he was a young boy up until he became released into full-time ministry, and then he carried a greater abundance of favor upon his life. And favor really is God's grace. It's his ability. It can be his pardon. When we get born again and we receive Jesus into our lives, we realize we're a sinner and we need to be saved. His favor comes into our life to pardon us from that death sentence that we had. So favor really is a lot of different things. But naming and claiming favor and saying, I declare favor upon my life, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But again, favor really goes hand in hand with purpose. We have to be faithful and disciplined to walk in our purpose, walk in our design, grow, mature, fail at times, get back up, keep pressing, keep going. And then as seasons progress, God's favor comes little by little. And then when we're ready for that big thing that's been in our heart, that thing that's been burning in us, that we know that we were created for, and it seems like it's so far off, but then when that time comes and we're in perfect alignment, perfect timing, perfect season, what happens is suddenly God's favor, boom, comes upon us, and we get into a supernatural flow, a supernatural rhythm. We have wisdom, we have insight, we have opportunities presenting themselves to us, we have the right relationships coming into alignment with our lives. All these things that are necessary to cause us to totally sync up with that big plan of God will come into manifestation. So again, favor is progressive. Favor is something we come into alignment for. Favor is the product of us being committed, us being disciplined to walk out our purposes and then to come into right alignment with the plan and the will of the Father in the right season, and then it manifests. So think about that today. It's not something you just get because you're saved, but it's something that you prepare for. Favor is something you prepare for. Pretty powerful. Appreciate you. Be blessed.